Okay, y'all, so I came upon something that was quite disturbing, to say the least. It's Canada's updated euthanasia laws. Not sure if you have heard or not, but if I take you over here. So, first off, here's the most disturbing thing I've heard all day. So, apparently, as you can see, Canada's euthanasia laws expand to mature children and the mentally ill. Mature children, two words that should never be in the same sentence here in Canada. So, if you go down here, it says Canada is expanding its already liberal euthanasia laws to permit, and they insert the quotations, mature children under 18 and mentally ill patients, wait for it, to qualify for assisted suicide. Okay. And they have the picture, the depressing picture of the poor child at the mercy of this brainwashed person right here. Anyway, moving down, it's saying a lot, but, and you can go to the website, defconnews.com, where it gives you more information. But the most important thing that I found is right here, which is basically verbatim what they're saying in the title of the article, which is, now the country's euthanasia laws will expand so that mature minors under the age of 18 and those with exclusively mental conditions can qualify for assisted suicide. Now, of course, you may feel a certain way. You know, if a person is experiencing a certain level of pain, you might want to make certain, permit them certain, the ability to do this. But with an adult or with the child's parents present or caregiver present, the person who raises a child, not that a child can take this into their own hands, and a child is not mature until they are over the age of 18, at least here in the States. I'm not sure about Canada. I'll have to look into that. It's North America, so it should be very similar. But I wanted to get a little bit more information as to what they mean by mature child. And I went through a link through AP, which brought me over to apnews.com, which just gives you a little bit more information on the law that's being passed. If you go all the way up, it shows you this information. And that poor man, I believe with the glasses on at the bottom with the hat, has passed away. Quick note on him. He decided to agree to, well, actually, I'm not even sure if he did agree to it. Let me read a little bit. He applied for euthanasia. Oh, and it listed only one health condition as the reason for his request. You see it? To die. Hearing loss. That's very sad. He also, he had a history of depression and other medical issues. But moving forward here, so I just typed in Google, mature minor in Canada, and it brought me to the Department of Justice Canadian website. There's the maple leaf. And if you go down here, so the only thing that I could really find that this gave me a little bit more understanding as to what they mean by mature minor, since it really doesn't make any goddamn sense. Is children's views, preferences, and wishes, I think. No, I think it's under, okay. It's under children's consent to adoption. So if you can read. Okay, so here. And let me kind of switch this over here so you can see a little bit better. Where it says, so 7 years of age in some places, children under the specified age of consent are still consulted. So, consent to adoption. I don't know if this is what they mean by mature minor under the age of 18, but I'm just going to assume until proven otherwise. So it says, in every province, territory, children above a certain age must consent to their adoption. In most jurisdictions, the age of consent is 12. Ontario has the lowest age of consent for adoption at 7 years of age. Okay, so I'm just going to go all the way to where it says 142 here. British Columbia's Adoption Act has a similar counseling provision for children who are sufficiently mature. In Manitoba, the Adoption Act requires that where a child is under 12 or unable to consent, the court shall, where appropriate and feasible, take into account the wishes of the child. So I'm thinking 12 in some cities in Canada. I'm not sure if it's cities or countries. I gotta look into that. Educate myself. But in some places, it's 12. In Ontario, it's 7. And so on. So basically, that gives me a little bit more information as to, what they could mean by mature minor. But it's still wrong. Especially if you go down here and you see the fact that they said, let me see. Okay. So, go down, up. So, they were talking a little bit about, I can't really find it at this time. You might be able to see it, but they were talking a little bit about, with the past couple of years since 2020. And they've just been experiencing a lot of minors that have been passing away via suicide, unassisted. So this new law coming into fruition is just going to make it easier for this to happen on a larger scale. Not good. Not good at all. That's it.